A New Science of Plasmangelics, Dusty Plasma, Part 1. This mind map attempts to classify the characteristics of plasma, especially so-called dusty plasma, using the facets of the Octaikon pattern of reality. And my main source has been Robert Temple's book, A New Science of Heaven. Plasma can be imagined as the clay out of which creation is crafted using natural forces. It is, in fact, the fundamental state of matter from which 99.9% of the universe appears. The other material states are gas, liquid, and solid, which form over 100 elements. These appear in the planetary systems surrounding stars, such as our own solar system. Plasma is made up of charged particles, negative electrons and positive ions, i.e. the atomic nucleus. In addition to these particles, dusty plasma comprises fragments, i.e. the dust of atoms, molecules, and compounds left over from explosion from stars, and that is supernovae. These cataclysmic events forge new elements from which new types of matter evolve. All such matter is subject to the nuclear, electromagnetic, and gravitational forces and the natural laws and fields of influence that determine their effect and create form. In the case of the atomic states of matter, the chemistry and physics is quite well known. However, the behavior of dusty complex plasma is only just beginning to be understood. The charged particles create an amazingly rich tapestry of structures and relationships. These are interwoven as a result of the electric currents and the resulting magnetic fields. These effects can be observed at all scales, from atomic, anthropic, through to cosmic. They include filaments, double layers, voids, helices, crystals, toroids, webs, and networks. And many of these correspond to patterns in biological life and may in fact form templates for them. For instance, their behavior seems to express consciousness, intelligence, and memory. There is a widespread belief that spiritual entities, angels, etc., are associated with matter. Therefore, it's not surprising that there is speculation that plasma is the basis for the formation of both spiritual and material entities, and the myriad of ways in which they interrelate. They are described as coexisting and relating to each other, often in contradictory ways. For example, plasmoids, structures of plasma, seem to pass through physical matter. They can defy physical laws of movement and speed. If indeed they are intelligent, they may be able to appear in different forms, shape-shifting according to our imagination. Hence, the different ways they are perceived that give rise to the panoply of legendary, mythological, and folkloric beings associated with material entities. Now take a look at the mind map and you can see all the things related to the Octaikon facets. A New Science of Plasmangelics, Part 2, Ubiquitous Angels. This mind map attempts to classify the characteristics of angels using the facets of the Octaikon pattern of reality. My main source has been Matthew Fox and Rupert Sheldrake's book, The Physics of Angels, and Rupert Sheldrake's books, A New Science of Life and the Presence of the Past. Ever since humanity became self-aware, we have acknowledged a spiritual dimension to life. This was thanks to our intuition, instinct, and sensory channels of knowledge. As a result, we have created systems of beliefs, religions, that tried to explain all the phenomena that we have experienced physically and psychologically. A large part of our belief has been that natural phenomena and matter are animated. In our imagination and dreams, we have ascribed a whole plethora of supernatural creatures to them through the process of morphic resonance, which reinforces their phenomenality. These are what have been described in myths, legends, folklore, and fairy tales. I think that their origin can be explained by taking a pan-angelic view of creation. I believe that angels were the first creatures created out of plasma and are associated with everything in creation, ordered as choirs. One of their roles as intelligent spirits is to co-create the form of physical entities by applying fields to the forces acting on them in cooperation with the divine. Since everything is animated in such a way, it has been easy for us humans to imagine weird and wonderful supernatural creatures associated with them. And as a result, over millennia, our religions have come up with a wide range of stories about gods and goddesses that we believe created the universe. Now, the Christian understanding is that these co-creating angels have complete freedom to cooperate in using the creative clay of plasma, following the divine idea of the one God. However, inevitably, some did not respect this freedom nor follow the fields and fell. The result continues to be the creation of destructive behavior and dangerous matter. Hence, Christians have a belief in destruction of demons as well as creative angels. This marriage of the understanding of plasma and the role of angels, good and bad, I like to call plasmangelics. And it seems to me to be a true, rational, and a fertile basis for understanding the universe and our purpose in it. Take a look now at the mind map and the different characteristics which Matthew Fox and Rupert Sheldrake have identified from their book, The Physics of Angels.